Hey, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. So this may be a little bit nerdy, but it's probably one of my favorite topics. I love investing. What? That's crazy, right? Yeah. I've been doing it for a while. And it's kind of like at the center of my life. It's literally like the main thing that I do. I love investing. One of the many things I've tried to get people to do over the years is not only to invest, but to invest properly. You wouldn't believe how difficult this is, especially when talking to friends, trying to help them. I literally, I mean, the deja vu is crazy. I was just chatting with some people who actually are investors and also who are in the crypto market. And I was like, do you know how rare it is that like I tell people to invest for the future and to save and put their money away and to buy assets and that people actually listen to me? I'm not a guru. I'm not anyone who's special. It's just more of just common sense. We're all going to get older. We need money. You know, you got to put it away and you got to save some of it. I remember hearing like for a rainy day when I was a kid and I was like, why would I be saving it for rain? But of course you understand when you get older. All of the issue is that a lot of people don't save, don't invest, and don't put anything away for the future. One of my larger pet peeves within the cryptocurrency space is the fact that you might remember this is very 2016, 2017, the entire like Lambo bro kind of things where the generalized idea was that if you make money from crypto, where you gonna spend it? And basically people were buying like Lamborghinis. I know that's not how it's pronounced. And a bunch of other things. And it kind of got me thinking. And I was like, you might have even seen, if you've been following this channel for a while, we've had like dad talks where I'm like, hey, don't buy a car, buy a house first. You know, you can go do something nice for yourself. It doesn't have to include like a $400,000 piece of metal that you can drive down the road. You know, maybe like buy a house or some land or something that kind of generates capital. So we get a lot of, I don't even know what this news is. News that makes me happy. News. We had news before, and I remember that video. I saw the comments that people were like, what the fudge is he talking about? Whenever we get like pension news, someone just left. Someone just clicked the X. I can feel it. Whenever we get pension or retirement news about crypto, it actually makes me really happy. We had news a week or two ago about all these pension funds who were getting into crypto and all these like companies who literally like they do like retirement plans. They're also looking to get into crypto. They're buying some ETFs like the Bitcoin spot ETF. So they're getting into the market and stuff like that. And I was like, that's great because it shows that crypto has longevity. It's going to be around for a while. These companies don't buy assets expecting that Bitcoin's only going to last for a year and a half and then they have to get rid of it. It's like it's long-term hold kind of things. So I like long-term news and to see that people are doing what's responsible with their money. There's literally nothing that makes me happier. I've hugged friends before when they told me that they made money and the first thing that they did was bought property. It's like, woo, like, okay, I can sleep a little bit easier. This is a recent report, and I'm so glad that it came out. But this is one of those, and I won't have this as the actual title of the video, because a lot of times I'm certain you've seen where I'm like, no one's paying attention. This news came out, and no one, but like that they're written because no one paid attention to that news. The news came out, and no one paid attention to it because I guess it was more boring than other things. You know, saving for the future. Who needs that? There was a new report by Bloomberg that they called the crypto wealth effect. And they basically were going over the trends and the habits of people who are in crypto within America and what they planned on doing with their newfound wealth. The researchers identified that unexpected gains from crypto were not were not spent on luxury items. They were not spent on luxury items, and they were not spent on Lamborghinis. They were spent on other things. A couple of researchers, there's a lot of names, yada, yada. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, other names, university, blah, blah, blah. They said if households tend to treat crypto like they expect, then we would see and expect them to spend their gains in a similar way to lottery winners. We're going to go into that in a second. In contrast, our estimates suggest that household spending out of crypto gains is more than likely a pattern that we see from traditional equity investments. And without having to read any further, they were going over crypto winnings and profit from people and asking them what they spent their money on and what they planned on spending their money on. And no one said Lamborghinis. No one said anything frivolous. People were talking about pushing their money into other investments, pushing their money into art, and pushing their money into real estate. You know how proud I am? Do you understand like what that even means to my mind? One of the biggest issues that a lot of people in crypto are going to have to deal with is a level of newfound wealth. It's not a joke. I think when you see prices, especially if you are new to the market and you see prices trending sideways and you're not making a bajillion dollars every single day, like we talked about before, a lot of people tend to leave the market because people are here for very quick money. People who are in the market, a lot of times, and I implore you right now, I don't care if it's on your phone, I don't care if you need pen and paper, make a list of assets that you would like to acquire. That is to say, things that will create income, generate income, and or rise in value because of how rare that they are. And that's it. If you plan on cashing out of crypto, even if you plan on staying in the market just to have something, because a lot of times I've seen before in the past, a lot of people, this is dating back to 2017, a lot of people cash out of the market, take some profits, what have you, and they don't know what to do with it. So they end up actually buying cars. They go on vacations. You would not. This bothers me. Why do people spend $15,000 on a vacation? If you can explain that to me, you best friends for life. Because I've seen so many, you must have seen these documentaries where these people not even win the lotto. Sometimes they just have extra money. And it's like 3 people going on this vacation and they spend $15,000 because they want to sit in business or first class. They go to a 4 or 5 star hotel. I'm like, what? You don't know how to spend your money? You can't travel for $3,000 for 2 weeks? 2 weeks? You have to spend $15,000. So this is where a lot of the money ends up going because a lot of people don't know how to hold on to their money. So a lot of the newfound wealth in any market, like imagine you weren't into crypto. You may have a generalized idea now. Imagine 10, 15 years ago, somebody handed you $1 million. You wouldn't know what to do with that money. You would have no clue what to do. So you would do what everybody else is doing. You would buy nice clothes. You would buy nice jewelry. You would go on these expensive vacations. You would go, oopsie daisy, I broke again. I just saw a documentary a couple of weeks ago. It was this guy won the lotto. And I think it was like 5.6 million that he won. It was, a decent amount. We don't need to talk about, winning $180 million. That's another concept entirely. You would be fine with $5 million. This guy got $5.6 million. And the documentary was crazy. It was actually in 2 parts. I had to find the second part. The first part, this guy, he was like 42, 43. He was living with his parents in what you would call social housing, or in America, you would call the projects. With his parents, he bought Lucci and Gucci and Fucci and every single thing. He was showing off his belts and he was showing off his cars. This guy went outside, lived in squalor, and everyone in his neighborhood knew him. And I was like, yeah, I wonder why they know you. He's high-fiving everyone. And I was like, yeah, they're high-fiving you for a whole nother reason. He had, I think, 3 nice cars. Nice, nice to spend too much. on these cars. And the actual people who were recording him, they saw in the video, someone like walks up to his car and they're like, hey, bro, let me get 50. He's like, I don't know. You're like, yeah, but look at your car. Like they were like harassing him for $50. And it was like, yeah, red flag. So the part 2 of it, they find him like about a year later. He's not broke, but he's, not as rich as he was before. And they're asking him, what has he been doing? And he said, luckily, one of his friends was like, you need to talk to a wealth manager. He had no idea what that was. This guy set him up, got him a whole bunch of dividend stocks. And he actually ended up like buying a building wherever he's living. Buildings weren't that expensive. He bought a whole building and it had like 12 tenants inside of it. And he was like, yeah, I like living this way a lot more because now I'm not terrified of becoming broke. So that pops into my head quite often when I hear or I've seen people online talk about the money that they want to make or that they could make from the market. And it always just ends up being absolute nonsense. So research is a wonderful thing. I've been saying it for 1,000 years now. Not every asset is for everyone. However, I would ask that you make a list today of things you would like to own that produce cash. So when the off chance that you do make a good amount of monies from any market, that you have a plan of what to do after it. My 4th time saying this here. I do not want any videos of any of you. I don't want to see it. Of any of you sitting in a car or your basement crying, talking about you lost all your money in crypto or you did so and so. I don't want to see it. If you post any video, it needs to be like, I just bought a house. I just bought a fixer-upper. I just bought land. I just bought, something. Listen, this completely made my day. I love stuff like this. And I love that they had like an actual research thing on this where they found out that people are actually spending it on things that will continue to make them rich. You know how pointless it would be for you to be in this market and make tons of money, and then in a year and a half, it's all gone? I just felt someone. Oh no. Yeah. That would not be too nice. Yeah, I thought that was cool. For those of you who want to read the article, it's in the description below. I think that's going to do it for this wonderfully spectacular video because it just makes a lot of sense. It doesn't. Last point. I know a couple of people who don't save for the future. And I've tried to tell them for years, hey, maybe you want to save for the future. And as age continues to go up and bones continue to hurt more, no, you're not gonna want to work in like 20 to 30 years. You want to make this count. And that's how you can stop working or work less in the future. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.